Hi, welcome to the garden. We're going to talk about pesto today. Now, how in the world does pesto have anything to do with Labor Day planting? Well, we talked about basil and I told you I was going to start some in containers. Basil and carrot tops are two perfect things to make pesto out of. Some corn nuts, a little olive oil, a little mozzarella cheese, grind it all smooth. Mwah! Wonderful. And by uppotting some of this basil, we'll be able to do that all winter long. So come on, let's see what we got. So I'm just taking this cardboard and I'm cutting it to the size of the container. We're going to want to cover these. Yeah, that'll work. We're going to plant some carrots. These are the ones we saved earlier this year. And we got a whole bunch. And I'm not real concerned about how many seeds I put in here. We'll thin these out. We'll have little carrots and we'll have carrot tops. One of the things you can make with carrot tops, you can make a nice pesto. So now that we've got our carrots in, let's give this a nice little drink of water. If you remember, the reason we're planting the carrots in a bag is for the nice loose soil. Now they're good and mixed in. Now let's just go ahead and make sure we keep that moisture in there by covering it with the cardboard, and let's get the cardboard good and wet. And we can actually flip that up and check underneath there every couple days. Once they start germinating, we want to make sure we get that cardboard off. One of our things on our Labor Day list was basil, and I told you I was going to uppot these. This has been in a container, and it is obviously rooted from the container down into the big container. So we're still going to uppot, and I'll show you what we're going to do. I'm going to clip this off, then we're going to clean it up, and we'll see if we can't get some basil out of it. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. We're going to take this in a couple pieces. Right here is branching out, and that's a node. It's also branching out right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take it at that first bottom branch. I'm just going to clip that. We're going to pass one branch and come up to here, to the next branch, and clip it right at that little Y. There's another little Y right above it, so that is a node. That is a node, and that's where all the hormones are. So I'm going to pinch both of those leaves off of, I'm going to pinch the Y out and the leaf off of there. Then we're going to put that in a container of water. So now we're just going to go ahead and we'll have a nice little bouquet in here when we get done. Alright, the next one up, we clipped it right below a node. Comes up, this is where the hormones are at that node, so I'm going to pinch those out of there. I'm going to go ahead and keep this Y. I'm going to keep this Y. We ought to get some pretty good roots right in here. I am going to pinch off these two bigger leaves. They don't look damaged at all, so we're going to be able to eat those tonight. Now this one right here, that's got some slug damage on it. That leaf's got to go. But this is also a fork. That's your node. It's where your hormones are in the basil plant. You can see where the slug had kind of come up and down. We'll see if this will root. But that gives us a nice little Y up here and another one there. So we've got two nodes with leaves on it and one node in the water. I'm going to kind of clean the rest of these up pretty quick. And actually, you can take a long thin one like this. If you clip that off, I like these leaves, so I'm going to go ahead and clean this up to about the third node. And save all of those leaves. If you get a damaged one like this, you can go ahead and just leave that in the deep mulch. Any of these half chewed, I'm going to leave out here. Got one more I want to take. So we still got 1, 2, 3, 4 nodes up above. And we got 1, 2, 3 nodes down below. And so that's how I'm going to clean these up. And in about 5 or 6 days, those should root, and we'll go ahead and get those in containers. And we'll turn this one straggly plant into a whole bunch of plants that'll produce all winter long for us. We've got a bunch of really nice leaves on this one. The bushier it is right now, the faster we'll be able to go ahead and keep pruning this and putting it in different containers. We're going to make a whole bunch of basil this winter. We'll keep an eye on this and see how long it takes it to root. And I'm going to go ahead and fry this up with some hamburger tonight. Okay, so we've got a good portion of our Labor Day garden in already. You can do this too. We're going to go ahead and plant spinach. We're going to go ahead and plant turnips. Of course, we're going to have to plant a little bit more beets. And then in front, we're going to go ahead and put in some onions. I've chosen this Bush Champion cucumber. And what we planted yesterday, we've got beans, squash, and corn back here. We'll see which ones come up first. And for anybody thinking you can't do this, I'm right in the middle of the United States, northeastern Oklahoma, right where Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma come together. Zone 7A/B, depending on what map I look at. And depending on when your first frost is, that's the number of days you need to count back. And the seeds we put in yesterday, 40 days from now, you should be able to eat off of them. Or, if you have a little bit of precaution, from here out, when you mow your lawn, put them in bags. On those nights that it's going to frost, you can put your bags around your plants and then cover with plastic. And that should take you to harvest on most of the stuff we've planted so far. Of course, if you're further south, zone 8, 9, and 10, you have nothing to worry about. You can start planting sweet potatoes right now and still have a great harvest almost in the middle of winter. It's all perspective. Now, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the deep mulch, click that link right there and I'll meet you back in the garden. If you'd like to learn about the living soil, click that link right there and I'll meet you back in the garden. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.